You read the title, let's dive right into it. Góðan og blessaðan daginn from Iceland. My name is TJ. Welcome back. I've been in the freelancing industry for about 6 years now. I started when I was 16 years old. Back then, my main camera was this small beast right here, the Sony A6300. And 2 years later, I bought the Sony A7 III, and that has been my workhorse for like 4 years until I picked up the FX6. This camera can do so much, like photos, videos, like I'm not kidding, I've done countless of gigs, like TV series. I've shot TV series on this camera. Like it was always overheating and stuff like that, but it's been my workhorse for my whole career. But it was time to upgrade. When I bought the Sony A7 III, I did photography just as much as video, probably more. So the Sony A7 III did both, and that suits me really well. But I've moved more into video work. I'm not doing photography at all right now. So I wanted a proper video camera, and I remember when I was talking to a client and he was like, yeah, what camera do you have? And I'm like, yeah, I have the Sony A7 III. He was like, oh yeah, the Sony A7S III, a great camera. I was like, no, the Sony A7 III. And he was like, the photo camera? And I was like doing a video for him. I'm like, no, it's not a photo camera, I can't do video, it's not good at it though. The gigs that I was doing required something better than the Sony A7 III, so it was time for an upgrade. And I was thinking if I should get the Sony A7S III, like a couple of friends had it, but I decided to go for the FX6. I know it's a bit more expensive, like having all these XLR inputs, like the internal NDs, stuff like that, is just fantastic. But living away from home and being a freelance filmmaker, the money can be a struggle sometimes, of course. Like the income is not steady, it's like up and downs. Investments are hard, and when I first thought about upgrading to a new camera in like September 21, I just couldn't afford it. So move forward a whole year and more, November 2022. That's the month that I got a phone call from a company here in Iceland saying like, hey, we got one FX6 body, do you want it? I didn't really have that much money, I was like, so I maxed out my credit card, I went to pick it up, and it was like the best day of my life. I still remember this day like it was yesterday. It was great. And because I live in Iceland, it costed me $8,300. So expensive here. Now, do I regret it? No, not at all. I don't regret it at all. It's like probably one of the best decisions that I've made in my life. Is that true? I honestly think so. Like this camera is... I love it. I just love it. And in fact, when I'm recording this, it's 22nd of March. I've almost made it all up. I rent my FX6 around $250 per day. Of course, if someone is hiring me for a longer term, I give a discount of that price. But to be transparent with you, I am $900 short of making it all up. And after that, I can just keep on saving and get another one or do something else with the money. Like, I've almost made it all back. So a couple more days of someone hiring me and me adding the FX6 to the budget, I made it back. It's gonna be great. But it's not just the rental costs that are the pros. It's also the gigs that I've gotten. I've got much more professional gigs, documentary shoots, like stuff like that. Recently, I was hired for 25 days to shoot a documentary. It's the biggest job that I've ever got in my career. And I'm pretty sure that me owning an FX6 was kinda also the reason why they got me, because I can be cheaper than the rental houses. And also if you do the math, $250 times 25, that's $6,250. So that alone pays up the camera. But as I said, I give a lot of discounts if someone is hiring me for a longer period of time, so keep that in mind. So you're probably thinking, okay, should I buy a cinema camera? Now I think there's two things about that, and the first one is, do you have the money? I do not recommend maxing out your credit card and just buy the camera. I know I did it, but it's not the best way. I did not sleep well at that time, and just looking at your bank account and you're like just seeing red minus, it's not nice. If you're gonna do that, make sure that you know that the market is going to get you this money back somehow. Like you can add this to your budget, you can make this up by renting it out or something like that. Like, make sure that you're not taking a loan that cannot pay up really quickly. Like, I paid it up like in a month because I just had loads of gigs coming in, loads of money, and just paid it all up. If you do have the money, then it's number 2, and that's, do I need the camera? Is it the right step in your career? Now, this is personal based. For me, it was definitely time to upgrade my camera. I've been wanting to do it for years, like 1 or 2 years, and I've always looked at the FX6, and it was not like an impulse buy. I didn't just go out and buy it. I've been saving it up for it. But if you don't really feel like you need a cinema camera, let's say you're not doing TV shows or interviews or stuff like that that requires a cinema body, then probably not. You probably don't need the FX6, for example. And if you're looking at it for your first camera, then definitely not. You should definitely not get the FX6 for the first camera. Get a mirrorless camera, something like that. But if you do feel like you need it, you are, let's say, filming lots of interviews and of course documentaries. It's great for documentaries. It's probably one of the best ones in the market right now. Then go for it. Go get that camera if you can. If you have the money and you feel like it's the right time, do it. You won't regret it. It's great. That's my 2 cents. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is TJ. I'm a freelance filmmaker from Iceland. If you like this video, I have a bunch more on my channel. You can check them out. Also consider hitting that subscribe button just if you want. No pressure. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.